This is release 1.13.0, the current available release of their .app. I'm here on the web module where a team can share pages with each other, link out to look at what they are, go back to the app, and you can see there's some context provided here with, for example, the logo on the left, thumbnail, framed in basically a clear browser reference. We want to give people context so that people on the go can be immediately productive, comprehend what they're looking at, and execute. Also, we try to bring in some design consideration, which you can see in both the logo in the upper right, as well as the selection of a theme color, which is what's in that designed bezel bar in the middle. And in the middle of that is our drop-down navigation, which has been the main way to get around within their .app projects, pretty concisely and always accessible. Although we have made our navigation be even more accessible, as I'll show through this video. So we're now on the task module. Here in the thumbnail area, what's shown is whether a task is due or whether it's overdue. As you can see, we haven't yet applied any contextual design to have that due date presentation correspond to the fact that it's about tasks. And then up on top here, you can see this blue easel with a house in it. That's our new home module. That's part of release 1.13. And that also has themes of both nice design presentation. For example, in the middle of the page here, you see this cover image for the project that's presented along with the main project information. And then in the framing of our theme color, the featured items area lets what's important be pinned towards the top of the home module, whether that's a place, the venue from our places module, or if it's an appointment, in this case, the setup appointment from the events module, which is our calendar. And then also home now introduces another mode for navigation. So for example, if I tap this places icon here, I see a little bit more about what the places module is all about and its state in the current project, and I can use home to achieve my navigation. And so here I am on the Places module. You can see there's some more use of that theme color to frame where the headquarters is for the particular project. Also I can call up, if I tap one of these icons on the right, it's going to go right to Google Maps and show me that place. All right, so I am going to say that one other issue that we've dealt with is that people often push what's called the hamburger button, those three lines in the upper left when they want to navigate around, even though we've had the drop-down menu within modules accessible, as well as constant access now to the home module. So I'm going to switch from our in-place release to our next release. So you may, if you look at the top in the browser bar there, you can see it now says stage, whereas before it said beta. So I'm on our staging server. This is actually release 1.13.50, beyond 1.13.0. And I'm back here in the places module. And among other things, you can see we're applying a little bit more design enhancement. If you look in the lower right of those images of the places, you can see the coloring is in that compass graphic. And actually the navigation is now even better linked. So if I tap here, it's going to show me the other places in my project. And so this is a additional feature enhancement. So now I get directions to get from one place in my project to another functionally, but that's not really what this video is about. So let's return to the theme. The home module up top, you can see now has the color theming as well in its fill. And the featured items also show how we're applying a little more context and artistry to the thumbnails with bringing the theme colors into those. So I'm gonna navigate over to the task module again. And here you can see that we now have a contextual thumbnail from the theme color, sort of showing a calendar with a circle date if it's a project with a due date. If I uncheck this task, it's now overdue, and you can see that that graphic went to red. And we actually have also brought, with release 1.13.50, you can see that number at the bottom here, but now we've brought project navigation into the left nav or the hamburger button as well. And also we're bringing our design in. So the project theme color you can see represented in a couple of prominent spots in presentation of this project. and I can use the left nav, let's say, to get to the events module, which is our calendar. Another simple and informative page that highlights what's most important, including the main project start and end here towards the top. And now in this environment in which I have 3 ways easily to navigate, whether that's the drop down, jumping to the home module, or the left nav. And actually there's even more than that, but I'm gonna hold in terms of navigation options, but I think this video is a nice indication of how we're incrementing up from release 1.13.0 to release 1.13.50 out during the fall of 2025 for even more fluid navigation and more impressive presentation of project details to teammates.